Okay, I know it's been a long time, guys, but let's just cut to the chase. This is going to be another quick simplified tutorial on how to cartoon yourself. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys my brush settings and how you can get smoother outlines like this and the entire art process. Yeah, let's head right into it. Okay, so firstly, you gotta make sure you turn off this in your settings. Go into your gesture controls and down to general. Make sure you turn off the finger touch painting thing. Turn it off. Make sure you got that turned off so you don't end up drawing with your fingers. Only your pen can draw. Alright, so heading to the brush, I use my technical pen, the default Procreate technical pen. As you can see, I only maxed out the streamline, so I only change any other thing about my settings. Okay, so now we create a new canvas. I use 4000 by 4000 pixel because that's a really decent size. So you go into your range tool, insert a photo, and I'm just gonna resize this photo fit to canvas and rescale it. I'm also gonna crop this. Okay, with that being done, you just gotta reduce the photo opacity. So you can do this like this, or you do it by tapping on two fingers and sliding it down. So now we create a new layer and start the outlining. Okay, so I'm gonna start out by drawing the outer parts of the picture first, making sure I connect each of the lines together, so my lines doesn't have spacing in between. Like, I'll start out from here and just like that. You can see how smooth my outline is looking right now. So that's just how I do my outlines. Just gonna draw the outer parts first before I do the inner details of the picture. So you guys can just watch how I do this in time lapse, and then I'll explain more when I'm starting the painting. The main task in putting out these videos is the part where you have to edit the videos. It's really time consuming and stressful. So I really appreciate if you like the video, because that means a lot to the channel. It helps the channel grow a lot. And also, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more of these kind of videos, consider subscribing to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Okay, nice. Now I'm done with the outlining process. Now we'll do the painting. Okay. So now I'm gonna create a new layer and go back into my outline layer. Then go into my selection tool. And then I'm gonna use automatic and just tap on the background of my picture. So now we're selecting the background of the picture. Tap on freehand and then invert this. So now we're going to create a new layer and then start our painting. But first, I'm going to add a reference just so I can be a little bit more accurate while doing my painting process. So right now I'm just going to be selecting the colors and just keep selecting the colors till I find the one which fits best. Okay, so I'm satisfied with the color right now. I'm just going to turn my outline layer into a reference, then create a new layer so I can paint the dress out here. So I'm going to choose a red color just like the one we have in the picture and start testing out my colors. So this looks nice. Now I'm going to make a color for the hair. Choose a color for the hair. I'm doing this on a new layer too. Okay. Yep. Alright, so now I have the color for my hair. So I'm just gonna turn off my reference and try and paint the top hair. As you can see, there's a lot of space in the top hair, so I can't use the autofill tool to paint hair. I'm just gonna paint these manually. As you can see, I'm using my opacity so I can fill in those smaller strands of hair in between and also at the sides of the hair. I'm gonna alpha lock my outline layer and then change the color of the layer of the outline to like a dark brown with my software brush. This is a new thing I do with my outlines. If you notice my artworks recently, I don't really paint most of the outlines black. I use like brown or a dark blue. Okay, so here's the thing I do. I use a slightly darker and reddish color to shade around the dark parts of the picture first before I do my main shading. So I just use my soft brush to spray around these dark areas of the picture before I do any other shadings. Also, I'm gonna choose a red color, not really that red, but kind of red. Then I'm gonna create a new layer, turn that layer into multiply, and then I'm gonna that's not my color. Okay, I'm gonna slightly spray this around her cheeks, also around her nose. So now I'm done applying the red multiply effects on the skin. Now I'm just going to choose back my saturated color of the skin and finish up the shadings on the dark side of the picture. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm doing this on the original skin layer. That's why I'm doing this. So now I'm going to use white to paint the eyes and her teeth. Yeah, so I just create a new layer above my skin layer. Then I'm gonna choose a color which is slightly darker than my original skin color and a little bit more saturated. This might look a little bit confusing, but trust me, it's not that complicated. You just gotta choose a slightly darker color and a slightly saturated color than your original skin color. So you can keep twitching the color, keep changing the color till you find what's best for you. So this color right here is quite okay for me. So I'm going to turn off my skin layer, then put on the picture layer. So I'm just going to trace out the dark shades on the picture. I don't know if you guys can see the dark shades right now in this picture, but I'm basically just tracing out the dark shades on the picture. I also have full depth videos that explain how you can identify the dark shades in your picture. These videos are about 30 minutes long, some are like 40 minutes long, but this is going to be like a quick tutorial. So if you want to check out those videos, you can go into my channel and check out the long ass videos where I explain how to identify dark shades and all that. But this is going to be a quick tutorial. Okay, so now I turn back my layers, and then I'm gonna use the smudge tool, which is the soft airbrush as the smudge tool, and just fade in these. I'm just trying to blend in the colors. I normally don't do this as usual, but it's kind of like a new thing I do with some pictures. So I'm just blending in, also using my eraser to fade out some of the shades that appears to be too dark. Then I use the smudge tool to spread out some of the shades. If you notice, right now I'm not really tracing the shades from the original picture. I'm just making the shades looking at the original picture as a reference. So you can do this too. You can have the picture right next to you and you can observe the picture and then do the shades looking at the picture. Okay, so now we're going to create a new layer for the next dark shades. I'm just trying to pick a nice color, then start making the darker shades. So in this picture, as you can see, there isn't really much definition, there isn't much of a dark shade going on in the picture. So you just gotta be careful about where you're shading. So I'm just doing the edges where the darker shades are, and I'm not really doing much into the face. I'm gonna go back into the multiply layer I created earlier. So now I'm gonna use a light red color to shade the lips. When I do my shades, if you notice, I use the soft airbrush as an eraser to fade out some of the excessive dark shades. There's something I want to change about my outline. So I'm going to un-alpha lock the outline, pick the outline color. Remember, I changed the outline color from black to a different color. I'm going to pick that up, and I didn't turn off my alpha lock, so I'm going to do that again. So I'm trying to change the way the teeth looks. So I'm going to retrace that, adding more detail to the teeth, because it looks a little bit plain. So I'm trying to add in more details. Yep. So let's see what that looks like. See? Wonderful. So this right here is the final stage of the skin. I'll create a new layer above the multiply layer. Pick up the skin color, make it lighter. So now I'm just going to add in highlights on the skin. You know, like when you do makeup, if you're a makeup artist or if you have an idea about makeup, I'm going to do highlights, add a contour line on the nose, on the eyes, and like that. So right now I'm looking at the picture, trying to add in some light effects, looking at the picture as a reference. And also I was adding my bounce light effect by the edges of the face. Yep. So now I'm going to use my soft airbrush and fade in more details into the eyebrows, and I'm just fading in the soft light shades. The soft light shades using the soft airbrush. Okay, so right now we're all done with the skin. I'm going to select my cloth layer and then create a new layer above the hair. Now use multiply. So now I'm trying to shade the cloth. I'm gonna use my studio pen. You can use the technical pen too, but I use the studio pen because it has a really big size, so I can easily just shade easily. But you can also use the technical pen to do your shades on the clothing. It doesn't matter. So I'm just shading the picture, looking at the original picture as a reference. So now I'm going to select the hair and then go back to my shading layer, select a nice color. Sorry, my bad. I'm in the wrong layer. I gotta go back to my multiply layer and then shade the hair. If you observe, I got my hair layer selected, so Any shading I make on the hair, like on the multiply layer, it won't go out of the hair because I selected the hair layer. So that's what I do to make the art a little bit easier and faster. Okay, I'm gonna create a new layer and turn on the add effect. So we're gonna do highlights on this layer. Now I'm gonna set the color to a darker color because we're using add effect, so it's gonna look lighter. So now I'm just gonna make the details of the hair, the light details of the hair. So as you can see, this is pretty basic. It might look confusing at first, it might look stressful and complicated, but trust me, it isn't really that complicated. I'm just, look, done. So right now I'm just gonna do the background, which I suck so much at. I'm gonna go back into my add layer and then select the skin, the whole skin. Then go back to my add layer, use a red color, like a reddish orange color. Use my soft airbrush. I'm just gonna create a little bit of subsurface coloring on the ears. Like there's light passing through the ears. Okay, without that being done, I'm gonna do some highlights on the eyes. So I'm gonna go into my highlight layer, then select a light brown color, because our eyes are brown. So now I'm gonna use my technical pen and just do a little curve on there. Make a lighter color, also do another curve. So that's just it. As you can see, this is the finished work. I made some little changes on the face, on the cheeks, and yep, outside of the crown. And some highlights on the hair, some yellow highlights to reflect the crown, yeah. So that's basically it. Hope you all enjoyed the video. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Peace!